This is the weather forecast video for Saturday, January 28th, 2012. Let's take a look at the satellite image from last evening. You can see a disturbance over the western Great Lakes that pulled out of the state late last night with some snow and some rain along the southern Midwest, with some more cloudiness over the northwest and over the desert southwest. Watch warning map from just before midnight. Fairly quiet across the country. Winter storm warnings and advisories over eastern Maine. Wind advisories and high wind warnings over northern Montana, with some winter storm watches in northern Idaho and northern Washington. KPF chart. Precipitation over the next 5 days through Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock shows fairly light amounts of precip from here southward, with the heaviest over the northwest and along the U.S.-Canadian border. Let's take a look at the 0Z GFS Model Run. At 6 p.m. this evening, you can see a trough extending in the upper Midwest and Great Lakes, with some pieces of energy, one over the eastern Great Lakes, one diving into the Dakotas. That may bring us some flurries late Saturday, mainly on Saturday evening and into Sunday morning. Little, if any, accumulation with that system. We head to Sunday. Some lake effect snow over the central and eastern Great Lakes. Otherwise, it'll be pretty dry and little cool, highs in the 20s and lower to middle 30s, especially west. Monday, temperatures will be a little bit warmer, 30s across the state, maybe touching 40 in the southern and southwestern counties where there's less snow on the ground. We head into Tuesday. Another system comes in that bring mainly some rain, maybe a little bit of a mix over the state, but amounts will be generally fairly light across the area. Into Wednesday, that storm moves off to the east and to the southeast. Temperatures cool off behind the front back into at least the 30s, with mostly sunny skies. Heading into Thursday, still fairly cool, seasonally cool, with highs in the upper 20s to middle and upper 30s, depending on snow cover. And heading into Friday, high pressure overhead and be cold from here eastward and pretty warm from here westward, with a ridge over the west and a trough over the east. Seems to be the main thing this year. And even into next Saturday, trough over about the western half of the country and a pretty decent trough over the eastern half of the country. And right now, at this point, we'd be getting onto the warmer side, so by next weekend, temperatures will be back to above average again, maybe some 40s across the state depending on snow. We head further into February on the 8th. Pretty zonal across the southern tier, with the southern jet. The polar jet, though, remains near the U.S.-Canadian border with a pretty big trough over the Great Lakes, high pressure over the Iron Range of northern Minnesota, some lake effect snow over Superior at that point, but we stay dry and pretty cold at this point. The end of the forecast on February the 12th, the southern branch is still pretty zonal, but pretty big ridge over the northern jet and coming back into Canada, or out of Canada, and here comes another push of cold air and a storm system to our south and west that, if possible, could run up this way, and we could see some decent amounts of precip if this was right. Thank you for tuning in to the weather forecast video. We'll have another one tomorrow.